It's Faith Talk Live. I'm Dan Ratcliffe. Rick Probst is having technical issues. I know that's hard to believe, but he does have technical issues every once in a while. It seems like the older we get, the more technical issues we have. Don't you think so, Pastor Mike Linch?
That is true. That is true. It is a walking, nagging issue for all of us.
But you and I seem to get it work out today. So we'll just hang out and have a good time. We're talking with Pastor Mike Linch, senior pastor of North Star Church. And you're obviously there at the church. You're not hunkered down at home right now.
No, it's been funny. We opened the church office for a handful of us, not everybody, a couple weeks ago, and it was nice to get a little break out of working out of the home office and to come somewhere new where you don't see the same people all the time. And
right.
I found out I was a little loud for my family's wishes, so they like me being out of the house for a little while.
I know how that goes. I'm shut up in one room where the doors are all closed, and we try to have soundproofing and everything. And unfortunately, when they're watching TV, the TV is right next to the room, and so I hear it in here. But we're making it all work with this whole COVID thing. So, so when this all hit, gosh, it's been what 8-9 weeks now, however long ago it's been. How did you guys at North Star make the transition? What have you guys been doing?
So the good part of it was we already had a pretty strong online presence. So making the transition to saying, well, we already have an online studio, we already have an online host, we already have all those things. We just never dreamed it would be the church for these past 8 weeks.
Right.
And, I think if we had all known how long this was going to go, it would have terrified all of us.
Right.
And I'm thankful the Lord didn't allow us to be smart enough to think ahead too much, but to be prepared. And we were able to deal with it pretty quickly. And as all of us have done, get used to this new normal for the time being, as long as we're going to be in this and trying to abide by the laws of the state and also the safety of our people, I think we have found a pretty good stride in it, honestly.
Now, what are you hearing from your folks there at North Star? Are they ready to get back at it? Are they chomping at the bit? Are they still scared? What are you hearing from them?
I think everybody is ready for the old normal. I don't know if anybody, Dan, is ready for the new normal. The thought of walking in and not hugging and high-fiving and handshaking, because that's what all our, your church, our church, that's what we've all been all these years. And to walk in and see somebody in a mask and to be separated, the 6 foot from the people around us, I don't know if anybody's ready for that new normal. And that's what we're trying to figure out is when can we create a good enough experience that we can't beat online? And that's where we're at right now. Right now, I think the online experience is probably a little bit better than we would be allowed to do right now. So people are ready for the old way. I don't know if anybody's ready for the new way.
Very true. And your folks are embracing the online services and still giving and still staying engaged?
Yeah, so it's been amazing. I think our story is pretty reflective of everybody's. Our numbers are up way over what they've ever been on campus attendance, and our giving has been incredible. So, thankfully so many were already online giving, and so that transition went really, really smooth. And man, all of us, Dan, we talk about this. We've all been around the church for a long time. This happens 10, 12 years ago. We're all up the creek. And so thankfully technology is where it's at with online giving and online services to where we're able to be more agile than we would have been before. So far, so good for us.
Now, we're talking with Mike Linch, the senior pastor at North Star Church in Kennesaw. What are you seeing around the Kennesaw-Acworth area that really gives you hope about the people in that area? As far as how they're handling this.
Yeah, I would say two things. One, I think everybody has worked together. That's what I love about it. From city government to schools to local and private businesses to the church leaders, everybody collectively is going, we're going to figure it out together. Because the great part is nobody knew what to do. And we've all done our best to figure it out. So number one, I think there's been a great collective working together. The second thing is, I think people are getting out. People are glad to be getting out again, but not being stupid with it. So they're getting out and they're going to the store and they're going out to eat, but they're not being absent-minded of what we need to be doing to stay safe either. So those two things really give me good hope for the direction we're headed in.
Yeah. I was talking to a buddy of yours last week, our good friend Ike Reichert, and he was telling me that you and he and a bunch of other pastors like Brian Bloy, folks around the area, get together at least once a week, I guess, and pray. And you call it the 404. Tell us a little bit about that and what you guys are hoping to get.
Yeah, it's been so good, man. It's something that Brian Beloy at Westridge started up that very first week at 7:30 a.m. on Thursday mornings. We all get together and just pray, just the pastors. And we don't talk about how we're doing. We don't talk about what our church is working on. We pray. We pray for what's going on. We pray for wisdom. We pray for all those things. And out of that was born what we call the 404 Prayer Initiative, where in this area code of 404 churches in Atlanta, at 404 every day from May the 3rd till the end of May, our churches collectively are all praying together at 404. So on each of our individual websites and Facebook accounts, we have a different pastor sharing a devotion every day at 404. So we pray for 4 minutes every day at 404, and just praying that what the evil could be that comes out of this, that God does use it for good. And we claim that together. And it's been a powerful time praying together and working together as churches. It's been awesome.
Now tell me what you guys are up to at North Star Church, and what are you going through a series right now, and what are you guys teaching right now?
Yeah, so it's been really good. We started a series here the Sunday after Easter called Soul Care. I think we do in our world, we're really good about taking care of ourselves, but God's so concerned with our soul and who we are and how our engine, we call it the engine room of our lives, how it works out. So we've been working through Philippians 4:6-10, and just working through what Paul said about not being anxious for anything, but praying about everything and having gratitude for God and being at peace and putting our mind. This past week we talked about fixing our minds on the things that are good. And so just using this time to take care of our souls. And so the selfish part of it is I needed it. And I think all of our souls, our bodies are tired and our minds are weary from this new way of church, because I'm a people person. I love people and I ain't seeing any people. And so I am missing face-to-face. I get energy from the sun and face-to-face contact. And so my soul needed some refreshing. So it's been a fun series over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a people person, and I miss being out with people. And it's even being out and seeing people in masks. It's weird to me. I want to be able to see their faces and see if they're smiling at me or sticking their tongue out at me. This has been hard.
That's so true.
For us
so
extroverts.
True.
So what has God, because obviously during this time, we're all being forced to slow down. We're always used to being so busy. We're being forced to slow down and as his word says, be still and know that he is God. What is God teaching you personally in this time?
Trust. I think the biggest thing for me has been trust, because, we've been at North Star 23 years. I've been in ministry for 29 years. All of us don't know now. There is not one church that knows more. The 22-year-old young man that just planted a church is probably as good at this as the 51-year-old guy who's been at it for 23 years. All of us are beginning again, and this is all new. And it's that whole thing of, you just got to trust me. I know you don't see where it's going to come from. I know you don't see anybody on the other side of that camera on Sunday mornings. You've got to trust that I've got you. And I think for me personally, that's been, because I think all of us, the longer we've been in it, you begin trusting in, the budget from last year, and trusting in what we've been doing, the way we've been doing them, and the way we've been successfully doing them for all these years. All of that got thrown to the curb 8 weeks ago. And we are all adjusting on the fly. And and the whole thing is God said, do you trust me or do you trust you? And I haven't been real pleased with some of my answers to that question because I've trusted in me a lot more than I've trusted in him many a time. And, your staff's looking at you and your church is looking at you like, what are we going to do? And you honestly don't know, but you're going to trust the Lord and you're going to walk in confidence in him. And so that's been the lesson I've learned. Definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. And of course, you've been spending more time with your family. What have you learned about your family? Anything new people that you didn't know were there or anything like that?
It's, and that's, so the great part is, so my son lives on his own and he definitely visits when he needs a good fresh meal. But my daughter lives over in Gwinnett County and serves at 12 Stone Church over there at the Brazelton campus. And when that all happened, she is part of the residency program. She moved back home, for this little time period. So, gosh, my 23-year-old daughter hadn't really lived at home in a couple years. She's been off at Liberty and worked at Saddleback. And so it's been nice. And it's been neat as a dad watching my daughter do ministry, seeing her on Zoom calls with kids and seeing how hard she's working. And so I think for my wife and I, we've been empty nesters for a little while, we've enjoyed having her home and enjoyed that season of having her back at the house.
Yeah. Very cool. Pastor Mike Linch of North Star Church. Folks can find out about you guys. North Star Church is northstarchurch.com or org?
.org. Yep. .org.
Okay. northstarchurch.org. Find out about them. Join them on Sunday mornings online until we're all able to get back together, and then join them in person. And Mike will give you a big hug personally, won't you, Mike?
That is exactly right. Absolutely.
Mike Linch, we appreciate your time. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. You're listening to Faith Talk Live. I'm Dan Ratcliffe. We'll be right back.